Hello, it's 9 p.m. in Djibouti. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the head of state congratulate the new British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Prime Minister has received the new ambassadors of Russia to Djibouti. Heat wave in Europe, a new heat wave hits the old continent. Welcome to our newsroom. President Gele congratulated the new Prime Ministers of the United Kingdom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Gele, today Wednesday sent a message of congratulations to the newly elected Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Mr. Boris Johnson, elected yesterday Tuesday. In his message, President Gele hailed a resounding victory, a sign of strong for the political leadership proposed by Mr. Boris Johnson's your extensive public experience and perfect knowledge of the issue on the agenda in your country will be invaluable in the conduct of the United Kingdom's business. President Ismail Omar Gele wrote in substance, I hope that under your leadership the United Kingdom will increase the largely accomplished work of its development and influence. The Djibouti head of state also not be sure that you will always find with the government and people of Djibouti all the necessary collaborations to strengthen the bonds of friendship and cooperation between our two countries and people, said President of the Republic before reiterating his warm congratulations to the new Prime Minister of United Kingdom. Boris Johnson, 55, is one of the leading figures of the UK political scene. He has previously held several important positions in his countries, including Minister of Foreign Affairs and Mayor of London. He succeeded Ms. Theresa May as the head of the government of the United Kingdom. The Prime Minister Abdulkadir Kamil Mohammed has received the new ambassador of the Russian Federation to the Republic of Djibouti, Mr. Mikhail Golovanov. More details with the report.
Abdulkadir Kamil Mohammed received the new ambassador of the Russian Federation to the Republic of Djibouti, Mr. Mikhail Golovanov, in the Prime Minister's saloon on Wednesday morning. The visit of the new Russian ambassador is part of his tour of contacts with the country's highest authorities. The Prime Minister welcomed the Russian diplomat before reviewing the basis of the bilateral relationship between the two countries and the prospect for strengthening friendship and cooperation between the two countries. Ambassador Mikhail Golovanov expressed his joy at working in Djibouti, where he plans to use his long experience as a diplomat gained during his previous mission to Algeria and Morocco.
Prime Minister Abdulkadir Kamil Mohammed elevated Mr. Christophe Guillou to the rank of the Knight in the National Orders of 27 June. Ambassador Christophe Guillou was elevated by the Prime Minister Abdulkadir Kamil Mohammed to the rank of Knight in the National Orders of 27 June. The ceremony, which took place in the Prime Minister's office on Wednesdays on the same days, was attended by General Thierry Laval. Mr. Guillou, who served as ambassador to Djibouti for 3 years, so from January 2016 to June 2019, is leaving the country to pursue his diplomatic careers in Cameroon. Before his assignment in Djibouti, the departing ambassador served as a consul general in Boston and then as director of peace, democracy and human rights at the Organization International of the Francophonie. In turn, the Minister of Equipment Transport, His Excellency Musa Mohammed Ahmed, also received this morning in his office the ambassador of the Kingdom of Morocco accredited to Djibouti, residing in Ethiopia, Her Excellency Ms. Neziha Alawi Hamdi. It should be noted that this visit by the ambassador is part of the existing fruitful bilateral relationship between the two sisters countries. The discussions focus on cooperation between the two countries in the transport sector, specifically in the port and air transport. Also see together the prospects of further cooperation between the two national airlines, Air Djibouti and Royal Air Morocco. The ambassador, for her part, did not fail to reiterate her thanks to the Republic of Djibouti, which has always worked to defend the interests of the kingdoms of Morocco. Finally, the ministers of equipment in turn thanked the ambassador for the availability and wish to further strengthen cooperation with the kingdom of Morocco already established. The Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources, Younis Ali Geddi, today received in his office the ambassador of the kingdom of Morocco to Djibouti, residing in Addis Ababa, Miss Nezha Alawi Hamdi, accompanied by Mr. Adil Jabri. The meeting was attended by the Director of Energy, Mr. Guled Mohammed, and the Director of Natural Resources, Mr. Adan Haid Ismail. Discussion is focused on the establishment of a cooperation partnership between Morocco and the Republic of Djibouti in the field of energy and mining resources. Indeed, the Minister of Energy indicated that Morocco is a leader in Africa and are key partners in the field of energy, and particularly renewable energy. Under the aegis of the Ministers of Urban Planning, Environment and Tourism, His Excellency Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa Hilem was held this morning at Hotel Acacia. A ceremony was held to sign a project financing agreement between UNDP and regional associations. The objective is to fight against ecosystem change due to climate change for the protection of environment. About 10 of the associations from the interior region, namely Tjura, Obokh, Dikhil, Ali Sabi and Arta, in total nearly 17 associations have been granted funding for the project to combat ecosystem degradations in order to better protect the environment. The ceremony was presided over by the Ministers of Urban Planning, Environment and Tourism, Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa Hilem, and UNDP Coordinator Fatima El Sheikh. Also present were the Secretary General of the Ministry of Environment, Mr. Dini Abdullah Umar. For her part, the UNDP coordinators Fatima El Sheikh, the Minister of Urban Planning and Environment, His Excellency Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa Hilem, explained that associations must indeed work in full consultations with the government and do the part to better combat ecosystem change. Their objective is to fight against ecosystem change due to climate change and for the protection of the environment. About 10 of the associations from the interior region, namely Tjura, Obokh, Dikhil, Ali Sabi and Arta, in total nearly 17 associations have been granted funding for the project to combat ecosystem degradations in order to better protect the environment, said the Minister of Urban Planning and Tourism and Environment, Mr. Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa. The Ministry of Social Affairs Solidarity yesterday held at the People's Palace a workshop to present the DCC Community Driven Development Approach. This workshop was chaired by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Ms. Ifrah Ali Ahmed, in the presence of a large business delegations and the head of the various sectoral ministries and the head of the various ministries. During this workshop, the business delegation made a projections explained the principle of the community development approach, showing the flagship project carried out by citizens, such as the constructions of road construction, such as schools. The main objective of this workshop was to present Benin's experience in the field and to share knowledge with the heads of the various sectoral ministries gathered, and also to discuss the context of decentralized development approach, which emphasizes the priority as defined by the community themselves, empower them and gives them the means to actively develop and implement improving in the different files. The Quartier 3 Neighborhood Community Development Center is an important civic engagement workshop. This initiative by the CDC management is in line with the objectives of the State Secretary for Youth and Sport, which aims to make civic mindedness its main focus in promoting citizenship, environmental protection, and love of the homeland. Certainly, civility is the foundation of all the cardinal virtues of the Republican spirit and constitute a main stimulus for the emergence of a coherent mentality more involved in the national development process among young people. In any case, this workshop is in the presence of the director of the CDC of Quartier 3, Mr. Nasser Hamdi, and other leaders of the leader gathering several dozens of young people attentive to lessons. It good natural atmospheres with the promises of interactive exchanges thanks to screening. The association is national for the collective local Djiboutians within the framework of the project of support to Djibouti local authorities for the strengthening of decentralization in Djibouti and the implementation of its programs as well as its action plans in partnership with the European Union and the International Association of Francophone Mayors International has initiated since Friday, July, a visit to Benin. Is part of advocacy to the mission is led by the mayor Fatima Awali Osman, who is also mayor of the city of Djibouti and includes Mohammed Ismail, vice president of the association, and Mr. Abdurrahman Yunus Arre, the second vice president and Mr. Umar Hussein Umar, its secretary general and president of the Tajura region, Mr. Mohammed Umar Ismail, president of the commune of Bulaus, Mr. Almi Bouh Goudade and Ibrahim Said Badour, respectively president of the regions of Arta and president of the commune of Rastika. Finally, during the week, it will be a question of inquiring about the experience and the associations of Benin municipalities in the wise holdings of municipal contribution resulting from the municipality membership and their umbrella associations, but also their knowledge. The Dakhel region is always vigilant in the fight against contraband product. The Dakhel Custom Brigade, in collaboration with the Riyadh Armed Forces, recently carried out a major operation to control smuggled cat in the area of unit. These operations in several areas of the city and surrounding areas made it possible to seize several dozen bags of cats as seen in these images. This operation was supervised by the head of the Dakhel Custom Brigade, Mr. Musa Umar, and Colonel Idris of the Riyadh. After the seizures, the smuggled cat was burned on site in the presence of the customs and armed forces. The prefect of Dakhel, Mohammed Sheikh Hassan, congratulated the customs officers and soldiers of the Riyadh for their outstanding actions in the fight against smuggling in all its forms in the Dakhel region. Also, as part of the management of illegal migrants during the nights of 23 to 24 July 2019, the gendarmes stationed at Lak Assal once again conduct sweep operations off the coast of Gubeit. During this operation, the gendarmes arrested 210 migrants, including 49 Ethiopian women, particularly in the Garaito, Mia, and Tafar sectors, all wishing to visit the Gulf country. The latter were very weakened by hunger and thirst. These migrants received humanitarian assistance in water and food from the gendarmerie. At the end, they were deported on 27 July to Galilee borders for the rolling stocks of the gendarmerie. Gendarmerie is the leading forces in assisting the populations of the move, as it is located on all roads used by migrants. We regret to inform you of the deaths that occurred this Monday at Ali Sabih. The late Hassan Jibril Bouh, born in 1949 in Ali Sabih, the deceased leaves a large family behind him, including a young widow and 10 children and 21 grandchildren. In these painful circumstances, we share the pains of the family of the late Hassan Jibril Bouh, to whom we offer our sincere condolences. We pray God to welcome him to his eternal paradise. Amin. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. For the international scene, the heat wave is settling back on Europe, as in Spain, where temperatures exceed 14 degrees this week. As a result, the authorities have issued an orange alert for several provinces. The same phenomenon occurs in France, where almost all regions are in the heat alert. A heat record was reached this Tuesday in Bordeaux with more than 14 degrees. This record could also be broken in the capital Belgium. The Netherlands and Germany are not to be outdone, as are Great Britain. It could experience the hottest days in its history on Thursdays and break the current records of 38 degrees. A heat wave studies and observed by the World Meteorological Organization. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.